Hello everyone and welcome back. Alex here, and I want to cover a kind of a simple topic, but I think it's worthwhile, and that is how to start a logistics chain in order to support your industrial operations. Again, it's not combat, it's not PvP, not yet, but everything ties together, and in a sense in EVE Online, industrial operations is a form of PvP because it supports PvP. And one of the great things about EVE Online is that every ship you fly, every bullet you shoot is made by a player. And by extension, with Planetary Interaction, all the materials and equipment and the products from that are all used to support the building of large interstellar stations. So let's say you've maxed out, or you're going to max out, your Planetary Interaction. One of the roles that you've assigned to your character is to be a planetary governor. And here I've actually maxed out everything. So Zhao Meijing, one of my characters, my industrial character, is completely maxed. Now, for Planetary Interaction, you get a maximum of 6 planets. One of the key things is wherever you're located at, you want to maximize the planets that are available. Particularly those on low-sec and even null-sec, there is a sense that because we cannot get raw material easily to our base of operations, and nor can we get our finished goods out from low-sec or null-sec back to high-sec easily, that we need to be completely self-sufficient, at least with regards to the input side. So one of the things I had done a while ago earlier was that I had set my planets in such a way across about 3 accounts in order to be completely self-sufficient in producing one item. And this is my production planet here. And that one item, of course, is the integrity response drones. So this production chain, getting up to like tier 4, is pretty extensive. And while there's a lot of profit to be made, of course, there are a lot of materials that need to be produced. So long story short, I'm just going to kind of condense this a little bit down. You want to maximize the planets you have. So you want to take the planets that are in your region, in your area, with your skill set, and make the most valuable commodities that you can make, which means in this case here, I focus on things such as transmitters, miniature electronics, superconductors, viral agents, and I did super tensile plastics. These 2 colonies here, these are actually older ones. This is ones I had done, I think 2 years ago, while I was in the Great Wildlands previously. And I've kind of kept those planets. They still have orbital customs offices with a pretty low tax rate, so that's a nice thing. So these 5 planets here are going to go into part of the production chain on my manufacturing planet, but there's a lot of materials that are not being made that I need to use in order to make these integrity response drones. So things such as mechanical parts, biocells, and the things that I'm currently missing, which is how we're going to address this here. Trying to think of it. Oxides and not super tensile plastics, like polymers, I should say. Not polymers. What do you call it? That's what I'm missing right now. Polytextiles. I'm sorry, polytextiles. So polytextiles, mechanical parts, oxides, biocells, all those things, those are kind of cheaper things. Those are things that are more common. And so what I want to do is make the most valuable things here off the planets that I have production on and bring in the items that are not as profitable. So I'm going to pause it here. I'm going to switch accounts, and I'm going to go to my buying account in JITA to pick up those more common commodities that I'm going to ship out to the Great Wildlands region. And so the next part is I'm going to show you how I'm going to buy these commodities and how I'm going to set up the contract. So one moment, please. Okay everyone, here we are. Welcome to JITA, the main market hub of EVE Online. Now, continuing where we left off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some of the base materials here in JITA and ship it down to my high-sec drop-off point where I can then send it to my base of operations. Okay, so what does that mean? Here's a couple things. Opening the market window, you got to realize what you need to do and what commodities you want to spot buy off of the market and what you want to produce. And as I mentioned before, the rule of thumb is you want to produce the items that are more profitable. And if you can make an excess of those items, you can resell back into the market. While at the same time, you want to be able to buy the lower cost items off the market. So that way you capture the difference as your profit margin between the lower priced items and that you're buying and the higher priced items that you're producing. And you can capture that profit margin. So in this case, some of the things that I'm going to spot buy off the market are mechanical parts, polytextiles, oxides, and biocells. And actually biocells is really spiked in price recently. I'll show you what I mean here in a bit. But if you look at biocells, you can look at the price history. You can see it's actually shot up in the price here. So I'm not getting a whole lot of these. Anyways, that being said, you want to take the items that you want to buy, let's say polytextiles, and you want to add it to your market quick bar. Your market quick bar, which is this next tab over, holds the things that you're interested in. So the items that, as I mentioned before, biocells, oxides, they're all on a list here, and you don't have to go digging through the market tab trying to find these things. You can just snap right over to them. So let's start off with polytextiles. Here's the market data. Now, one thing about economics is you're going to hear the terms a spot buy and an order buy. A spot buy, it means you're going to use the sellers, you're going to buy straight off the market. It's going to be at the higher price, but you're going to get the item immediately. Putting a buy order in, however, means you're going to be competing with other buyers. And people will sell, of course, to the highest bidder. But the highest bidder is going to be lower than the people that are selling the item and that you're going to be buying off the market. In this case, however, I kind of need these fairly quickly, so I'm going to do a spot buy, which means I'm going to buy them directly off the market. Well, the question is, how many do you buy? These items here, which are, I believe, tier 4 items. The rule of thumb is this, or actually the way that math works is this. If you have a production chain that's going up to tier 4, in my case Integrator response drones, then at this level, I need to buy 20 units of these items to support 1 unit of production for 1 hour. Everything is done in 1 hour, essentially, other than production level 1. They do it every 30 minutes, but everything else, they work on an hour cycle. So in order to make 1 integrity response drone, I need to be able to purchase and use 20 units of polytextiles to support 1 unit of production. Okay, so now it's actually a fairly easy calculation. So I'm using a calculator, use the one in game, it's perfectly fine. And I was like, you know what? I want to be able to buy 5 days of these items to support my production. So 5 times there's 24 hours in the day, times that by the number 20 units to support 1 hour production. That's 2,400 units. So I want to buy 2,400 units of the spot buy. And this is going to cover me for my polytextile needs, for my planetary interaction for 5 days. Okay. So now I can go in here. Or I can go to perimeter. It looks like it's actually a little bit cheaper there. But for sake of simplicity, I'm going to go to JITA. I'm going to do a spot buy. It's 8% above the region average, but that's okay. At this lower level, it's not too bad. And we're going to drop in this number, 2,400. This will be 5 days of production. And that's going to come out to 18,480,000. So I was like, okay, I will buy that. Bang. So now if I go in here, I see my item hanger. I now have those items. Next item I want to get is mechanical parts. They're quite a bit more expensive. Now, I did not move, honestly, I did not move enough items over to do this for 5 days production. I actually need to move quite a bit more. But I'm going to keep going here with demonstrations just to show what I'm talking about. Okay, so now I want to go to the next one. Let's say oxides. I think oxides will work. Again, same thing here. Let's put in 2,400. And let's just see how much I actually have left. I have 12 million, so it's not enough. But you get the idea. You're going to buy everything that you need. Okay? After you buy everything you need, then you're going to send up a courier contract. And you're going to send it from JITA to wherever your high-sec drop-off point is. So we're going to make a public contract. It's going to be courier. It could be either from you or if you have a corporation, it's fine. I'm going to select one item. It's going to be a whole slew of items since I do it later on. And then we're going to go from there. Now, making a contract. Again, you're going to ship to, and you can actually search out your system. Okay, we have to put in 3 letters first. So I think it's TEO. And you can actually pick out the station that you want. So I want to do Teon Usaid 3 Moon 1. I can't pronounce it correctly. Now, you want to establish a collateral price. You can do the estimated price, but frankly, you want to put in the price that you paid and a bit more. So in this case, I paid 18,200,000. I'm going to put in a collateral of 23 million. The reason is that there's going to be a premium if this one doesn't work for whatever reason, that it's time and production loss. In fact, it should be actually a lot higher than this, frankly, because it is supporting my industrial operations. But since this is going to be just through high-sec, there's a very, very small chance that this is going to be blown up. You never know. It could happen. Next, we want to establish a reward. And you're also going to do an expiration and days to complete it. So the expiration, of course, is how long this contract is going to be up. Usually you can get this around 3 days. Let's put in 1 week, actually. Hopefully we'll get it sooner. And the days to complete, you're going to do 1 day. Unless it's like a very long transport or you're going to use something like a freighter or something like that. If you want it down there quick, keep it to 1 day to complete, but you're going to have to jack up the reward a bit. Okay, so how much is going to be the reward? Well, as you can see here, it actually calculates how much ISK you want to do per jump. So it's 23 jumps. And again, here you can actually break out the calculator again. Put 23 jumps times and how much do we want to pay for high-sec? We can put in 300,000 ISK per jump. So that gives a reward of about 7 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. You can do that. Now, this is actually not a good contract. What you want to do is you want to fill out in an industrial ship. So I would not go with this reward for this amount of goods. What you want to do is have an amount of goods that will fill up an industrial ship. How much of that? That is around 12,000 cubic meters of material. Okay, you're going to put the collateral in. You're going to say, I'm going to pay about 300,000 per jump, which I think is reasonable. And you can say, this is going to transport to my base of operations. Okay. Yes, you're going to be paying money to transport these goods. The question is the money you're going to be spending here, is that enough to offset you not making out into 0.0? Well, as a simple calculation, let's just do a quick delta on a per unit basis. Okay, I showed you how to make up the contract real quick. Again, you want to fill up the hull around 12,000, usually a pretty good ballpark range for simple. This is something that even a new player can do. They don't need a whole lot of modifications. It will get down there. Okay. Now, if you take a look at something like Polytextiles, okay, with 7,700, and then you look at something like transmitters that you're going to produce, that's 14,500. So that's the difference. So let's say 14,500 minus how much for Polytextiles, which you would require a planet to make. Let's say 7,700. That's your that's the profit difference. Okay, that you would make by using one planet to make transmitters instead of one planet making Polytextiles. Now multiply that by the number of units that you're buying for 5 days, because you're going to buy 2,400 of these units. So what's the total price difference? Well, times that by 2,400. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to save 16,320,000, and that's just off one item. That's not the whole thing. That's not going to be the whole ship. This is just one item in the ship. Then you take this price difference across all the items that you're doing a substitution for, and that is the money that you will be saving, right, by having goods transported in versus making goods on site by using a planet in your region to make Polytextiles rather than bringing in. Again, it would be this profit minus the transportation costs, which is 7. Let's say I put in 7 million. 1, 2, let me put this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, minus that. Okay, I'm still ahead just by Polytextiles alone by 9,320,000. Yeah, so you want to maximize your planets, truck in what you need, truck out what you want to sell. Again, as I mentioned in my 5 tips or tricks for busy people, you can offload your logistics, make content, make contracts, yeah, and have the people that do logistics, that have the industrial ships that are just starting off in EVE Online, or they have freighters who want to go big and they love this and this is how they make their money. Everyone wins, just like in the real world. So anyways, this is an idea I'm putting together. I need to put more money into this account here, get the items I need, get them shipped down. I'll probably need to make two contracts at least. So again, at 7 million, you'll probably double up 14 million. But even then, the price savings by bringing in the cheaper materials versus producing it where I'm at is still there, and they're still very, very large. Okay, so anyways, I hope you like this quick video. It's an idea I'm going to put down. This is the start of my logistics chain, and just showing you don't have to do everything, and that when you try to do everything, you can easily introduce inefficiencies in your production chain when you don't need to. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna leave it here, folks. Take care, stay tuned, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out.